Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome to Fantasy Premier League with FPL Wizard. I hope you're all fine. I hope you had a great Game Week 32, guys. I'm sorry I wasn't here. I was actually out of station. I was on a holiday in Kashmir. Had a lot of fun, and even had a pretty decent game week. So kind of pushing up on in rank here, but it kind of still looks tough to reach that 100k, but we won't stop trying, as you know. We always do try. Hey, Smelly Web, Christian, Yesas, Light Trace, welcome to the stream, guys. Yesas says, Yo, Wiz 170k overall after 90 points last gaming. That's amazing, Yesas. Congratulations. I hope you get that elusive top 100k now, mate. That's all we can hope for, right? Alright, so we go to my team. There you go. Any prizes for winning your FPL League Cup? Yeah, well, you will win my league. Definitely, definitely we'll work out a prize for you, mate. Especially if you do win that, we'll work out a prize for you for sure. I mean, in the last years, I had my prizes kind of sponsored, but it was, I think one time it was sponsored by FPL Cup, and other time it was sponsored by Fantasy Football Fix. This time I ain't got any sponsors, but we'll work something out for you, mate. Don't worry about it. You win the league and let me know, right? So Christian says, hello Wiz, I still have the bench boost, triple captain, wildcard, and free hit. So you got, I mean, free hit is kind of, you can use it in game week 34, but I don't know your team, Christian. So if you tell me your team, I think I'd be better placed to kind of help you. Unless I know your team, it will be difficult for me to kind of just give you a blanket statement on what you should be doing, mate. So I'm waiting for you to share your team, and then I'll tell you what I feel. So anyways, guys, this is a pretty testing week. As you know, we had kind of planned our bench boost for game week 33, but it has been spoiled by the Foden injury, by the Gabriel injury, and it was a pretty simple 3 transfers out for the 3 Newcastle players, and I would have a pretty amazing team for this game week 33 bench boost. But now I'm having to firefight and deal with an injured Phil Foden and injured Gabriel, and and the 3 Newcastle players who got a single game week. So it's not that black and white anymore. I might still play it. By the way, the captaincy is not on Isak. Let me put it on Marmoush for now, and let's later decide whether we want to put it on Suck or not. Right. Yasa says, choose one of the 2 options. Rogers in for Murphy, Bowen in for Eze, and Kivior in for Gabriel. I'd simply do Rogers and Kivior, and I'd keep Eze, mate. I don't think you need to go for Bowen. Rogers in for Murphy is fine. Trossard in for Sarr. I would keep Sarr as well. So I wouldn't sell my Crystal Palace players. I would simply do the other 2 transfers in any case, and I prefer the first one as compared to the second. Emmett says bench boost this game week. Probably, mate. I'm still waiting for any team news if we get it. An early team news for City, which would help us no end. I think yeah, I'm just waiting for any kind of news that we get. Maybe a news that KDB is starting, or other kind of different options, right? Just waiting, and then I'm gonna make the decision. Now, good evening, Imran. I hope you're doing well, mate. I hope you're having a good season. Sarkar says Rogers in for Murphy or Elanga. I don't do it for Murphy, mate. I do it for Murphy. I think Elanga, they've got more to fight for, I feel. And Newcastle have got the tougher fixtures. And the goals which Murphy scored, I don't think they're, he can replicate them. One was from pretty much close to a like a 5-degree angle, so you don't score those goals every week. Not really up for KDB this game week. Everton away is a tough game, plus the Aston Villa game at home will be challenging. Yep, agree with that though. But KDB is a fantastic option, mate. You know, he's got his own story going on at the end because he's going to leave Manchester City at the end of the season. So he will want to leave City in the top 4. He's going to give everything. I mean, even against Crystal Palace, they went down by 2 goals, and then KDB was the one who actually pulled them up. So yeah. Christian says my team: Pope, Oidson, Munoz, Aitnouri, Palmer, Sar, Salah, Murphy, Bruno Fernandes, Mustata, Isaac, Wissar, Robinson, Mikilenko. We've got 1 free transfer. Christian, I mean, technically, you know, I think you should be thinking about, I mean, you got Pope, who's got a single game. I mean, you can wildcard this week if you want, you know, and free hit in game week 34. And then you can kind of navigate game week 36 and 37 with your triple captaincy and such, you know, and then you'll have to kind of make shift and do with your bench boost, because you've got like Sar, who has a double game week, and then you've got maybe Matata, you know, and Munoz, but I mean, there's nobody else, right? People have got like an entire 11 of double game weekers, you know, it's going to be difficult for you to compete with them. I think it's not a bad idea to wildcard, mate. Triple captain last week on his sack was such a waste. Well, it was alright, mate, you know, you can't guess these things. I heard rumors on Twitter that he is rethinking his decision of leaving City. Oh, is that? But I think he's going to leave now. How long he's going to play? I think it's 33, isn't it, KDB? I'm bench boosting for sure. Tough decisions to make for the deadline. Don't worry about it. We're here to help you, mate. Gabriel Murphy and Palmer for Kiwi or Rogers and Saka for free. I like those moves, Sakar. I definitely think they're pretty good moves to make. Ashish says, should I go Bruno to KDB or Saka? I mean, if you want to play the safe game, I think obviously you have to go with Saka, mate. You know, KDB is, I mean, if in any case you have the option of supplementing KDB with Saka, I mean, that would be the perfect situation. But if not, then you can kind of go with the Saka if you want to play the safe game, and KDB if you want to play the risky game. You know, if you want to put like go more risk, more reward, then you can go with KDB. Personally, I've been thinking as well. I've been flirting with the option of going with KDB, but I'm not sure, because the thing is, if you look at the Premier League table, I mean, Arsenal are also in a bit of a tricky position now, with Newcastle breathing down their necks, and even Nottingham Forest just 6 points away from them, and they've still got to play away at Liverpool, Arsenal. So, you know, they need to win some games as well. So, the last week's Brentford draw was a bit of a disaster. What is the probability of getting the Man City lineup before the deadline? I mean, we might not get the entire lineup. We might get news about Foden, or maybe 1 or 2 news about Savinho or somebody, you know. But we might not get the entire this team. We rarely ever do get the entire team, though, mate. Hey Sam, news of Foden. As of now, there's no news of Foden, mate. We're just waiting on it, and if I get any news, I'll let you know. Murphy for Rogers, I think yes. Burn for Konza, I think yes as well. Will you wait for Foden news, and then you can do Foden to Saka if you want to as well. So I'm just waiting on the news as well, essentially. Then I'm gonna make my moves. But I just say one thing to you guys. Do not leave it too late, because today's servers are going to be a little bit jammed. The hamster is going to be working overtime, legs burning and stuff. You know, they might give up before the deadline, those hamsters. Do you think Timber starts? I think he does, yes. I think definitely Timber starts. By the way, I'm going to show you this this thing, guys, just a second. So this is Ben Crillon, guys. This is Ben Crillon. Obviously you all know if you're an active FPL player. So if you're buying players now, for example this week, right, so you should look at game week 35 and 36. So in game week 36, 59 probability of Aston Villa having another double game week, right? But then in 37 they have a blank as well. So you know, or a possibility of having a blank. So whichever the team is going to double in 36, so it's most probably going to be Tottenham. and Aston Villa alongside Manchester City and Bournemouth, who've got a little bit less probability as well. So you should think about going for these. For example, if you're going for for selling, if you want to sell Burn or maybe Livramento, you should think about going with somebody like a Konza, because he's got a decent okay fixture in gaming 35 and a double in 36 as well. So you can think about that's only if you're free hitting in gaming 34. If you're not free hitting 34, then you're in a bit of a tough spot. I don't feel Saka is starting as Ipswich, so I'm confused. Well, that's the thing, mate. That's the thing. That's the risk of going with Saka. But I think Arsenal need to win the game, so I think he's gonna start. Simon Lee says, "Can I post my full team bench boosting? Don't want to annoy everyone long. Don't worry about it, Simon Lee. Just post your team. There's nobody gonna get annoyed here, mate. We've got a beautiful close-knit community. Everybody supports everybody else, so feel free to post, mate, and I'll help you. My transfer, I'll definitely sell Gabriel. I'll definitely be selling Foden. And I'll maybe make one more transfer. I've got 3 free transfers to go, so I'll make one more transfer as well. Possibly I'm gonna sell Murphy or Kieran Trippier, and I'm gonna make do with what I can. Marco says, "Hey Viz, who's the best Burn replacement?" I think you already have Konza, and I don't think switching Areola to Martinez is worth it. I already did Murphy to Rogers as I'm bench boosting this week. Well, I mean, if you've got money, you can think about going with Ruben Diaz from Manchester City as well, provided that they're gonna have they have a possibility of having another double game week and a good fixture in gaming 35 as well. So I mean, Ruben Diaz is a good option. If you haven't gone for Kiwior, maybe think about Kiwior from Arsenal. Or if you not interested in Arsenal or Aston Villa, then you can think about going with Max Kilman from West Ham as well. They've got a fixture against Southampton. If you want to be bench boosting, I think Max Kilman can be a decent option as well. I mean, I wouldn't go with Van Bissaka. I would rather go for Max Kilman, mate. Assassins have a soft spot for right wingers against Southampton. Bit of a tongue twister. As I went through a thread of Twitter regarding the ceiling for returns right wingers is really high against Southampton. I mean, Bowen really isn't a right winger, is he? Bowen kind of, he drifts all along the front line, so he plays he plays different places. But yeah, I mean, if you want to go with, I'm not saying Bowen is a bad option against Southampton at all, mate. I mean, Bowen is a good option, but the thing is, if somebody has a double game week, for example, Sarr, you can think his baseline is like 4 points. Sarr scores 1 point. I mean, Bowen has to score a goal just to match him, even if Sarr assists 1, and Bowen has to score a goal to match him. So I wouldn't take out the double game week players for a single game weeker. I just don't do that, mate. Hey, with Saka or Marmoush for captaincy, mate. If you feel Saka's gonna play more than 120 minutes, I would captain Saka. If you feel that Saka's gonna play less than 120 minutes, I think you should go for Marmoush. It all depends on what you feel. Right, let's answer Samuel Lee's question, guys. Right, so guys, when you're making your transfers, do look at this. I mean, Aston Villa, Man City, Bournemouth and Tottenham have the possibilities of having double game weeks, but then they also have a possibility of blanking the next game week in game week 37, right? So if you're making your transfers, try to get players from these teams. That is that is something that you need to keep an eye on. Right, let's go back to the team. Raya, Areola. Areola is fine. I've got the same. Saliba, Munoz, Konza, Guardiol. So you've got Munoz double game week, Konza double game week, or double game week. So Saka, Sarr, Salah, Rogers, and so you've got Saka, Sarr, Salah, Rogers. Fine. Isak, Marmoush, Mateta. All right. 2 free transfers: sell Livramento and Murphy to Diaz and Rashford or Bowen. Mate, the problem is. I'm not sure about Rashford. I'm not sure about these comments which Emery has made about Watkins, right? Not sure about these comments and what these actually how these comments are going to manifest. I'm not so sure, mate. But I think Livramento, I think yes, you can sell him. I think Diaz is a good option. I mean, you already have 3 Arsenal. You already have. If you don't want to go with somebody like You don't have. You can think about going with Matson, Tyrone Mings from Aston Villa if you want to as well. I'm just not sure about Aston Villa. It's a bit of a minefield right now. You know, the same way. I mean, Rashford is a good option too, mate. If you want to go with it, right? Bowen again. Single game week versus Rashford double game week. It's a bit of touch and go. I'd go with the Rashford here. It's difficult, only because we don't know how Aston Villa are going to line up, especially after getting exited from the Champions League. It's a bit of a minefield, that team right now. Even their defense, you don't know who's going to play, whether Axel Disasi is going to play, whether Cash is going to play, whether Dean is going to play, whether Matson's going to play. It's a bit of a minefield right now. CAV says, I was thinking of Kivior and Saka in for Gabriel and Murphy. Bench boost would be Ariola, Nico, Livermento, Isaac played. CAV, I think you're not going to get a better chance to play a bench boost. I'm not sure if you're going to get a better bench boost. I mean, bench boost is a chip in which you actually have to spread your funds to your bench, right? The quicker we get it out of the way, the easier it will be for us to take money out of our benches, right? So I feel even though it's not the best looking bench boost, I think it's not a bad time to play it. There's never going to be a ideal time to play the bench boost unless you're wildcarding next week. Congratulations on advancing to the UCL, says Imran. Thank you so much, mate. Absolutely enjoyed that thrashing of Real Madrid, mate. But we're just trying to stay humble. It was amazing, winning at the Bernabeu. That last-minute goal by Martinelli was just fantastic. You think Arsenal can beat PSG? Mate, I just don't like to jinx things, as I'm a wizard, I don't like jinxing stuff. But I hope they can, mate. That's all I can say. Thoughts on Trossard Martinelli minutes? I think their minutes are going to be mixed. I think he's going to want to save Martinelli for the PSG game as well, but then he's going to have to play Martinelli if they need to win games, because Arsenal are at the risk of dropping out from the second position as well, leave alone winning the league. Now their second position is looking threatened. I don't think Trossard is going to get 150 minutes. I don't think Martinelli is going to get 150 minutes. I think Trossard is going to get more time than Martinelli, though. So, Marco says, I already have triple Arsenals, triple City, and triple Palace. Do you think Burn to a second Villa defender is risky considering the fixtures, or would you prefer Brad? I think Bradley is a bit of a little bit of a risk from what I read from the comments. I mean, I like Kilman, definitely like Kilman. And second Aston Villa defender is the issue is who are you going to get? I mean, you can get Tyrone Mings, but then he missed out because Disasi played the previous game. In the Champions League, Mings played. Luca Dean and Ian Maatsen, you never know who's going to play. I mean, Dean started in the Champions League and then Ian Maatsen came on for him. Maatsen started in the Premier League. So I mean, that defense is a minefield. Issue is which defender are you going to go for? Sand and Peace is De Bruyne minutes. I think he's going to play more than 120. I think he's going to play at least 150 minutes, De Bruyne. That's what I feel. Is Timber to Kiwior worth for free? Why do you want to do Timber to Kiwior, mate? Why don't you want to keep Timber? You feel Ben White is going to play and Timber is going to miss out? Don't go for any Villa defense other than Konza. See, CAV is the Aston Villa fan, and he himself is saying that don't go for any other Villa defender rather than Konza. Bradley, Itnuri, or a Tottenham defend all double spots fills. Why don't you go for Kilman, Jared? Kilman plays against Southampton. They're already on the beach, Southampton, Good chance to get a clean sheet. How about Mbumo versus Brighton? I mean, Mbumo is fine if you have that much money to spend on a player. That's the whole thing. I mean, and if you're spending on Mbumo, then why not consider Bowen? Any other game week, that bench boost would be okay. Yeah, I mean, that bench boost would be fine, considering... Isaac plays against Aston Villa away. I mean, that's a 6-pointer. As Aston Villa would want to push for the Champions League spots, and Newcastle would too. So it's a big game there, and I don't know how that game's going to pan out. I just cannot visualize that game right now. Are you bench boosting? What's your transfer plan? Yes, I will bench boost, mate. I think I'm pretty close to bench boosting. And my transfer plan would be Gabriel to Kiwior and Foden to Saka. Rest, I'm just waiting for the team news to see if I can get any help. which I don't think I'm going to, honestly. Kivior is nailed. Yeah, I think Kivior is nailed, yes, because I mean, Gabriel is out, right? And I don't think he's going to play Timber at center back again. Calafiori is out too. And Miles Lewis Kelly obviously plays on the right hand side, and Zinchenko has no chance. If he plays, he's going to play in the midfield. I don't think he's going to play at defense anyway. So there's not many options. There's maybe Ben White, but I feel is going to keep him as a cover for Julian Timber. So if you ask me, I think definitely nailed on, mate. You know, as definitely as I can say, but I feel he's nailed on, right? I feel he's nailed on. I did my swaps yesterday in a rush thinking it was Saturday. Not a bad thing, mate. Sometimes it's good to just get the decisions out of the way. It's always better to just get the decisions out of the way whenever you can. I mean, if you go to this Twitter, and if you look at the predictions that were made, you know, you can see Salah to KDB. No way, mate. I wouldn't do that. Salah against Leicester, man. I would never sell Salah against Leicester, even if it's a single game week. So Arsenal, you can see here, Kivior is 100%, mate. So if you can see, Kivior is 100%. Saliba, White. I mean, people are feeling Julian Timber is due a rest, so Ben White is gonna play at right back. Lewis Miles Kelly is gonna get a rest according to the fans, and people feel that maybe Zinchenko is gonna play, or even Kieran Tierney. Zinchenko in midfield and Kieran Tierney on left back. So I mean, Lewis Miles Kelly is not even an option because he's listed as a midfielder. But mostly, I think only two defenders are really worth going for. I think it's Kivior and Saliba. All the others are not. I mean, 92% people think Trossard's going to start. With Saka, I mean, only 46% of the fans think he is going to start. I mean, that's the reason I'm waiting. I mean, if I get the news that KDB is starting, I might get swayed and I might sell Foden for KDB rather than Saka, you know, which might give me a chance to add a third Arsenal defender rather than going for Saka. By the way, guys, if you don't have money for Saka, you can also consider Merino as well as Arsenal midfielder. You know, I feel at 6.1 he's not a bad option at all, guys. Thoughts on Gabriel, Foden and Murphy to Saliba, Saka and Roger? I think that's fine, Bubin. Definitely fine. Nothing wrong about that move. Could do Saliba plus KDB, but wants Saka. But yeah, that's the thing. I mean, everybody wants Saka in this game, you know, especially because they've got two really good games against Ipswich and you know, Crystal Palace, Arsenal. So even if Saka plays you know, 130 odd minutes, I think it could still be good. You know, it could still be good, I'm telling you. But you know, it's a bit of a touch and go, mate. That's the issue. Do you think he still takes? Yeah, definitely, mate. I think he takes pens. I mean, he might give the odd penalty to Odegaard, by the way, you know, and he always there's always that possibility. But I think the designated penalty taker, Saka, is definitely on the first spot. I don't think there's any doubt in my mind that Saka is still the #1 penalty taker, although he did miss the penalty at the Bernabeu, but it was just a different situation. I don't even know what Saka was doing that day. He was chipping the keeper, and it was not even a proper panic because it was going to the side and not in the center of the goal. So I don't know what it was, by the way. Planning to thanks for the super chat, Juggernaut. He says planning to get Kivior, Saka and Rashford for Gabriel, Foden and Murphy. Could take a -4 to remove Livermento to AWB viable bench boost on. Mate, I think the moves are fine. Kivior, Saka and Rashford are fine. But I would not go for AWB. Just even if you're willing to take a hit for Livermento, I would do it for a double game week player mostly. And if you can't go for a double game week player, then don't go for Aaron Wan-Bissaka. I'd rather go for somebody like a Max Kilman, who I feel is more nailed on to start. I wouldn't go for AWB. Yeah. Sakar says that was silly from Saka. You can't be chipping Courtois. Well, it definitely required some cojones, mate. You know, just going to the Bernabeu and trying to chip Courtois. Armband, I think it has to be Marmoush, mate, because we're not sure about the Saka minutes. That's the only thing. If anybody gives me in writing that Saka plays 140 minutes, I'd put the armband on Saka. But because I'm not sure, is why I'm going to maybe put it on or let it stay on Marmoush. Armband, I think I'm pretty settled on. I mean, it might be different if I get KDB instead of Saka. You know, that's the only thing I might put it on KDB. But otherwise, I think you have to put it on Marmoush. Expect Saka's minutes to build up over time. How many of? Yeah, I think one start and one sub. I think it should be around 120 minutes CAV. You know, I don't think Arteta's gonna rush him in, but the problem is Arteta's got this problem on his hands that Newcastle are still just 4 points behind them, and Nottingham Forest are 6 points behind them. You know, they win one or two more games, and Arsenal lose one more, and it's gonna be a big problem for them. Hey, is any team news? Need MCI, and as of now, no team news, George. I'll let you know as soon as I get it. Imran says. Armband, congratulations on the UCL win. Well, thank you so much, Imran. Thank you so much. I really enjoyed it, mate. Really enjoyed it. It was fantastic. It was just fantastic. Akar says, how many minutes will Merino start? I think Merino's gonna play more than 150 minutes, mate. I think he's pretty robust. I think he didn't play in the last game. I think it was mainly because Arteta was focusing on Real Madrid. But in normal games, because especially, you know, Merino will play up front in these games, but the issue will be in the Champions League. Partey is suspended for the PSG first leg, so Merino might play in the as a midfielder in the Champions League. So he might want to try that combination out, in which Merino might get more time. Right? You never know, mate. But I feel Merino's gonna get more minutes than Saka. That'll do for me against those opponents. Palace will rest players on Wednesday with semi-final. Yeah, that's the point, mate. That's the point. 8 Nouri maybe for Livermento. I mean, Wolves have alright fixtures, mate. Not the best. You know, I really wouldn't take a hit for a single game week player, mainly Jugs. If you want to take a hit, take it for a double game week player. Otherwise, just leave it on Livermento. I mean, you're expecting 8 Nouri to get whatever points you're getting from 8 Nouri, right? They will be +4. You need +4 points from Livermento. For example, Livermento gets 2. You are minimum expecting 8 Nouri to score 6 points, mate. 6 points just to match him, not outscore him, match him. I think the odds are not in your favor in this case. Merino versus Trossard versus Martinelli. A very difficult question, mate. Trossard and Martinelli they will replace each other, right? Martinelli comes on, Trossard will go off. Trossard comes on, Martinelli will go off. Merino, on the other hand, I think he's got a different position. I think he'll play. I think they all get similar minutes. I feel Merino gets more minutes than these two. It's just my hunch, mate. I don't know, really, you know. Nobody can say what Arteta's going to do because, you know, it's the first game after the Champions League. It's difficult to second guess what Arteta's going to really do. You're getting my point, right? I'm waiting. Nothing. No leaks, nothing. Hello Sukrat, Sat Shri Akal, ki hal ne ji? Sukrat says, Trossard and Gehi or Gundogan, Telemans and Kiwior. Don't really like either options, mate. I don't like any of the options. I mean, it's difficult. By the way, guys, there's another option from Man City. If we get early team news, Savinho can be a decent option if we know that Savinho is starting, right? 6.2 million, remember? I mean, Doku is another option. You never know, guys, you know. These options we need to keep on radar. Maybe if we get early team news. If we don't get team news, then obviously you don't go there. By the way, let me go back to my team. Let me show you this first. These predictions, and then... So this is Arsenal, Aston Villa. See, Cash 91%, Konza 100%, Disasi 9%, Minks 45%, Pau Torres. You see, this is a minefield, this Aston Villa defense. I wouldn't go here. All the others are. Watkins 64%, Rashford 45%. Look, all the people who are thinking about Rashford. You know, you never know. Aston Villa team is a minefield. That is the reason I really like Rodgers as a prospect, because I know he's going to play most of the games. Beware of Aston Villa, guys. You need a team sheet like this or a prediction sheet like this where you're sure who's gonna start. Is Kiwior set to start 2 games? Yes, Sukraj. I think he is going to start 2 games. You see, you need this kind of predictions, not the type of even this. Bradley, Virgil, Robertson. Man City is an interesting one because Guardiola and Ruben Dias are 100%. Ortega Moreno is obviously 100%. Right back is up in the air. De Bruyne is 71%. Gundogan 29%. Look, Savinho. It should be Savinho, right? Maybe I'm reading it wrong. Who's Savio? It should be Savinho, right, guys? Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Where's Savinho here? It is Savinho. I think they maybe I don't know. 100%. 100%. Insane. Newcastle. This is the kind of cheat you like to see. Tottenham is all over the place. If I don't remove Livramento, my bench boost would be Areola, Salah, Isaac. That's fine, Jugs. You don't need to remove him for a single game week player, mate. That would be just doing it for the sake of it. I don't like it. I don't like making transfers for the sake of it. I like making transfers when we really, really need to make them. Hits should be taken only when we really, really need them. We should not waste our transfers, guys. Especially our hits. Because I don't think... See, you're taking a hit, right? So that means you need 6 points from the player which you are bringing in just to match your player. Yeah, definitely free hit 34, mate. You can't navigate this double and the next game week. Who are the best captains for rank chasers? I feel KDB is going to be an outside shout for a very good captains for a rank chaser, mate. Jessa says, I am now certain with my 2 transfers. Kiwior in for Gabriel, Rogers in for Murphy. Third is to get rid of Hoyts and Livramento for another defender because I'll be bench boosting. Well, which defender are you going to get is the question, mate. You tell me. Konza you already have. I'm not sure about any other Aston Villa defender which one to get, to be honest with you. What's happening? Why is... Oh, okay. Just a second, guys. Why can't I see my screen? What's wrong? Guys, can you see the screen? What's going on here? Yeah, okay, sorry. My bad. There you go. Foden, Murphy, Gabriel to De Bruyne, Rogers, Kiwior, Konza. I like those moves, mate. I like all those moves. Guys, I'm on Twitter. I don't see anything at all, guys. I don't see anything at all. Konza I don't have. Confused between him and Diaz for me. I would go for Konza, mate. You wouldn't go if you want to go with Ruben Diaz, that is fine. But Konza scored against PSG. You never know. You never know what that brings, right? And Aston Villa need to win equally as Man City do. Everton away is not an easy game for City as well. It's not an easy game for City at all. How about Milenkovic versus Spurs? Spurs are all over the place right now, mate. I just don't know what to make of them. You can play him if you want to. Personally, if you're on a bench boost, then yes. Otherwise, I would keep him on the bench. You never know with Spurs, but But Nottingham Forest has to win. Needs Savinho leaks. Foden starting. People don't know. People are just asking about the leaks, but nobody's providing any leaks on Twitter. Anyways, I'm gonna wait for 10 more minutes. Then we need to press, take the leap of faith. Really want to take a punt on Trossard. I have a feeling he'll score 2-3 against Ipswich. Just certain about his minutes. That's the issue, mate. Arsenal has, like, for example, Saka can be replaced by Nwaneri, right? Nwaneri. Trossard can be replaced with Martinelli. That's the reason I've been saying Merino is a decent, even Declan Rice. But Merino is a really good option, mate. He's a striker in the end. He scored against Real Madrid. Can't take a chance on him. Hey, Ofcor, I hope you're doing well, mate. If you have any questions, let us know. No, I don't. I don't believe we're not getting any leaks or anything. I mean, this is just media silence, guys. I'm on Twitter. I don't see anything at all. It's absolute silence. Marino forward next month. I hope not, mate. I hope not. I hope we sign Nico Williams. I hope we sign somebody else. I don't know. Nico Williams is a winger, obviously, but I hope we sign Gyökeres or, you know, Sesko, whoever they're saying. I don't know, but I don't want to see Marino close to the forward spot next season at all, mate. Crystal Palace will also heavily rotate against Arsenal. They have more to play for the semi-final. I agree with that, mate. I totally agree with that. You're right. But Crystal Palace has, even the later on the fixtures are better for Palace. That is why I'm advocating selling Murphy instead of Ismail Assar or anybody else, for that matter. But I agree with you. Yeah, they will rotate. They will rotate. Now that the relegation is kind of confirmed, definitely. Saka plus Savinho or KDB plus Rashford. Let's wait for the leaks. If we get a leak that Savinho is starting, then I like this Saka plus Savinho a lot. I like the Saka plus Savinho. Let's wait for the leaks. By the way, all those who've got their teams set should turn on their bench boost and lock their teams just in case the hamsters get tired. Remember. Captain, I'm going for Saka. I want to take that risk. I don't really like Marmoush against the defense of Aston Villa and Everton. Totally fine, mate. Hope the saving of Kiwior over Saliba helps later in the season. Yeah, mate. I mean, Saliba is not that attacking as a player anyways, you know. He does score a few goals, but they're very far, you know, few and far between. I think Kiwior is a fantastic option, especially, you know, he's going to play 290 minutes, you know, even though he's not going to attack. Hey, mate, should I take a -4 to bring in Rodgers for Murphy? I think yes, mate. I think it's even for a -4, I think Rodgers is a good shout. You know, especially in the first match, I think if he can deliver, you won't need him to do much against, you know, Man City. If he can do something against Newcastle. And I think Rodgers is the type of player who can do damage even against Man City. Woohoo, guys. We need some leaks. And there are no leaks. I'm on Twitter. Media silence today. Not even fake people. Not even fake messages are coming out. And says currently have Rea, Livramento, Virgil van Dijk, Cucurella, Sarr, Bellegarde, Marino, Salah, Mateta, Marmoush, Isak, Ben Chariola, Elanga, Guardiola. Also have all my chips in 2 free transfers. Marino, Salah, Mateta, Marmoush, Isak, Bellegarde. I mean, if you can play a bench boost if you want to, mate. Move Gabriel to Kiwior. And you know, maybe a Cucurella to a Konza, you know, or Cucurella to a Konza, yeah. You don't have Guardiola, right? Or a Guardiola if that's possible, you know, and then just play your bench boost and then play your free hit next week and then wildcard in game week 35 so that you can bench boost in, you can triple captain in game week 36. And that's all I can think of right now. It's difficult to kind of make a full investment plan very quickly. Investment plan takes time, right? I need a high-risk strategy to make up 40 points against my friends who've got similar players, excluding Mateta and Elanga. I don't think Mateta and Elanga are really good differentials, mate. Can I play AM and bench boost this week? You can't play 2 chips at the same time, mate. If you play assistant manager, then bench boost will be unavailable for you for the next 3 weeks. You won't be able to play any chips. You should have played your assistant manager in game week 32, mate. You know, this should be the last week of your assistant manager, not the first. It's a difficult one for me to tell you to navigate, mate. It's very difficult. Maybe you just get your bench boost out of the way, then play your free hit next week and then play assistant manager. I mean, you've got all your chips. You don't have your wild card, right? Or even if you have your wild card, then you're going to have to sacrifice one of your chips, mate. Because if you play assistant manager, then in 35, 35, 36, 37, then you triple captaincy in 38, and your wild card is going to go wasted. Oh, you don't have wild card, right? Then there's only one option for you, mate. Play your bench boost this week play your assistant manager in 35, and then play your triple captaincy in 38. That's all you can do, mate. If no Saka news, I'm thinking Gabriel, Murphy, Foden to Evanilson, to Saliba, Trossard, Rogers, and Watkins. I don't know. I mean, I like the moves, but I'm not so sure about Watkins and Trossard, mate. You know, when you picking up double game week players, you need to. You're not gonna get any Saka news, by the way. I mean, we're not waiting for Saka news. We're just waiting for the Man City news, mate. Arsenal don't even have the game today. How will we get a Saka news? Watkins is a disaster waiting to happen. That's what I'm telling you guys. You know, you can't go for Watkins after comments what was said by Emery, mate. KDB or Rogers? KDB, mate. I mean, there's no comparison there. If you ask me one, then KDB. Otherwise, although I prefer both of them, you know, you should typically have both. But if there's an option, then I would definitely go for KDB. Navneet says, hey Wiz, I didn't get my answer. Triple captain Saka or I wouldn't triple captain this week, mate. I'd definitely wait for game week 36 to triple captain. Isak won't leave my team this season, and especially for a Watkins. Yeah, absolutely not. Me neither, mate. Isak might leave my team, but not for Watkins. No chance, mate. Guys, it's absolute silence, guys. I'm so surprised nobody's... I mean, even my DMs are just dead. Oh, I just got one DM. Oh, and that is just a DM asking no leaks. Oh man, no leaks, no. Suggestions for a single game week players: Max Kilman, Jared Bowen, really good options. I mean, West Ham plays against Southampton. Beyond that, I mean, Connor Bradley against Leicester, not a bad option. The only leaks I'm seeing is the accounts claiming no KDB in the squad. Yeah, but I follow most of the reliable people who leak. So if they're coming from somebody else, then I must not be following them because I'm not seeing them on my feed, mate. Hey, Wiz, Foden to KDB. Surfros, just wait, mate. We're waiting for the leaks. I mean, if we don't get the leaks, then I think you can take the plunge with KDB. I think you can. Seriously think you can. I was waiting for the news, but we didn't get any, is the issue. I'm not gonna wait too long, guys. I'm gonna make my transfers pretty soon because these hamsters who are running the servers are gonna get tired, and you know, the servers are gonna start to glitch because everybody's gonna be activating their bench boost, and so need to just... Foden won't start 100%. We don't know that, Ahmed. We don't know that. It is the KDB goodbye tour, so surely he plays a lot. I think so as well, mate. You know, and he would want to propel Man City to the top 4 before he leaves as well. Let's see. If there are no leaks, I'd go ahead for Saka for Foden. Yeah, I mean, that's the plan, mate. So let me go to my transfers page so that I don't need to waste more time. Remember once upon a time in my videos, I said that President Obama always wore the same color of tie because he did not want a new decision to make every day, you know. And FPL is a game of decisions, but we always want to have less and less decisions to make so that we can focus our energy on the actually really relevant decisions. President Obama just wore the same color of tie every day just so that he wouldn't have to spend his energy choosing the color of the tie. So FPL is kind of the same, guys, you know. It's not too different if you listen to me. Where's Saka? See, guys, if I make these two transfers, I'll still have 1.2 million in the bank. You know, I can do Jacob Murphy to Savinho. You know, if we get the leak that Savinho is starting, I can do Jacob Murphy to Savinho, or I could do Kieran Trippier to Ruben Dias as well. So I've got a third transfer which I can use here, and you know, I'll keep Jacob Murphy and Isak in my team and let them play. That's all I can do. So I'll have 2 Newcastle players, basically 3 single game week players on my bench boost. But I couldn't care less. I need to get this chip out of the way. It's really it's a double-edged sword, guys. Remember this. This chip is a double-edged sword because you have to spend too much on your bench. You just need to get this out of the way, guys. Why are you not? Why are there no leaks from City? It's just insanity that we're not getting any. AM chip has been rough, absolutely, mate. I'm so happy I got it out of the way in Game Week 25 or 24, whenever it was. It was just, it was a mini game within a game. It was just too much. Guys, it's like 14 minutes left, right? Or 13, if I'm honest. I'm getting a little bit worth a punt on Luis Diaz. I really don't want to go there, mate. You know, every time I go for Diaz, Salah starts scoring, Jota starts scoring, Gakpo starts scoring, and Diaz looks like Bambi on ice. And every time I get him out of my team, he starts playing well. Objectively, I think Diaz is not a bad option, but he's just not reliable in my books. Just not reliable in my books. Soboslai is a better punt than Diaz. I mean, Soboslai is fine. I mean, McAllister has been one who's been scoring the goals and stuff, right? Well, you never know. I don't know, mate. It's just all over the place because we're not getting any leaks. And I was hoping we would. I honestly was hoping we would. But no leaks. Nothing. I'm gonna wait for 2 more minutes and then I'm gonna pull the trigger, guys. No point in kinda sitting on the fence. I need a mid by 4.9. You need a mid for 4.9, you do. 4.9, huh? Hang on, mate. There's no good, really good option in that price bracket, mate. Unless you want to go for Shawcheck against Southampton. 4.9, there's nobody, mate. Really don't like. I mean, Minte is alright, but you know, doesn't inspire any confidence. Don't like anybody in that price range, mate. Unfortunately for you. I don't like anybody in that price range. Ahmed. I mean, Bellegarde has a knock. Otherwise, Bellegarde could be an option for you, especially because he plays Leicester in 34. KDB or Saka, which is more risky? I mean, risk is subjective because I think most people will go for Saka, right? So percentage-wise or effective ownership-wise, I think Saka's not having Saka is more risky. KDB is like more risk, more reward, as in you're spending more money on KDB and less people will own him. But if Saka bangs and KDB doesn't, I mean, that's the risk, right? Help the hamsters, lock your team, says beautiful reminder. Beautiful reminder. Guys, please lock your teams. We don't have too much time. You think KDB plays both? I feel KDB plays both, but I don't feel he starts both. I feel he plays both though. I feel the same for Saka. Would you suggest transferring out Liverman to 20 double game week cheap defender for -4? Only Konza, maybe a Man City defender like Ruben Diaz, you know, or a Kiwior, nobody else. Or Saliba, obviously, if you have the money. So technically, if AM, the Wolves manager and the team wins the next few matches and end up moving a few spaces on the table, that's a really good upside, right? Yep. Even better upside if they play a team which is more than 3 places higher than them on the table, and if they manage to beat them. That's called the table bonus. Which 4 million defenders called? Or Agbadu? I think Agbadu is the one, mate. Agbadu is the one. Scarlett, I'm not so sure about, mate. I really... You know, I mean, he doesn't have 90 minutes under his name, so I'm not so sure about Scarlett, mate. I'm just not sure. Guys, we don't have any news. Damn it. Guys, West Ham Central has posted Aaron Wan-Bissaka has a toe injury which required injections and a late decision to be made whether he can play. Should he miss the game, Vladimir Sofal is the likely replacement. This is what he has posted. West Ham Central. So, anybody going for Aaron Wan-Bissaka? I'd rather go for Max Kilman rather than Wan-Bissaka. But this is not the news I was looking for. I was looking for whether Savinho is... Anyways, let me make the transfers, guys. I was hoping whether if I get the information that KDB starts, I can make up my mind to go for KDB, but I guess I one last check. No news is good news, isn't it, guys? I hope so. There's no news, guys. Absolute media silence. Nothing, guys. No DMs, no information, no rumors. Absolutely nothing. Ho ho. Aaron Ramsey will take charge as the Cardiff head coach for the remaining 3 games of the championship season. Wow, that's awesome. Aaron Ramsey, huh? Alright, guys, then then hey 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 goodbye na 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 hey 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 goodbye. I don't have any information or any news on Twitter. Absolutely is just absolute silence. I guess I'm gonna go through with my transfers, guys. I don't want to leave it too late. Where is my transfers page? Right. So the KDB dream is gonna be over. Of course, actually converted into a really good song. Na 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 na. Hey 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 goodbye. That's nice. That's nice. I like the positive vibes though, and it. Always we remember the Titans. Will Tierney start both or better go with Kiwior? I don't think Tierney's gonna start both, mate. I absolutely don't think Tierney's gonna start both. Arsenal are not that comfortable in the table to start all these fringe players, right? They'll start 1 or 2, maybe Livermento in the midfield, giving rest to 1 or 2 tired legs. But I don't think Arsenal can afford to take these kind of risks, mate. Took -4 for Palmer to KDB. I like that, mate. At least you're taking a risk. Trying to bring in KDB, sell Saliba. Kiwior will start. I will go with Kiwior, mate. I actually did Isak to Watkins this week, partly for the fun. I think Watkins starts at least 1. But if he starts the game against Man City, does it make a difference, mate? I'm not so sure. Alright, last look. I don't give up easily, do I, guys? I don't give up easily, guys. I'm a man of few words. Ain't no mountain high enough. Ain't no valley low enough. Ain't no getting to you, baby. Alright. No more trumpets. If Todd was here, he would say it's trumpets time. Last 5 minutes, no transfers made. And I'm still kind of dawdling. Alright, let's do it. Gabriel to Kiwior, Foden to Saka. Save my ass, Saka. My captaincy's on Marmoush, doesn't make a difference. I've got more free transfer is the issue, right? So my thing was, So my thing was, I was thinking Murphy to Savinho, it would give me a pretty decent upside. With 3 Man City players, but the thing is, I'm not so sure about Savinho is the issue. KDB in 0. Yeah, that's fine, mate. I wish I had the money for KDB. You don't know how much I want KDB, mate. You don't know that. I love KDB, mate. Second option was this. I'm in Trippier to Ruben. I can do that as well. Savinho probably starts. I mean, yes, that's the issue, mate. But I don't know. I was waiting for the news, right? I was waiting. No news, nothing. Absolute media silence. If I had news about Samuelis is Bowen, and that's nice. Sabinho probably start, but I don't. I need to know the news, mate. I mean, probably it's not good enough for me. It's just not good enough for me. You know, I have the money for Savinho, right? I've got the money to bring in Savinho. I don't need Ruben Diaz at all in my team. Actually, I've got the money to bring in Savinho here. See? I've got the money. But I just don't know whether he starts. And, you know, I don't want to take a risk. Ruben Diaz, I know he starts both. Is the issue. So I guess I'll have to go for the Ruben Diaz route. Don't go for Ruben. You could get KDB in for Saka in double game week 36. I'll take somebody out, mate. Let's worry about this game week. I'll take somebody out. You will play bench boost? Yes, I will play bench boost. Sure, I will go look at the news once again. I'm leaving it too late, guys. It's gonna be trumpets. Remember, it's gonna be trumpets. Guys, if Savinho does well, will you pray for me? If Savinho does well, then you will pray for me, right? For the peace of my mind. Because all week I wanted to bring in Savinho, and I had a feeling. Let's do it. I don't have enough time to worry about stuff. What? It's not working? Damn you. Oh, it's working. What? Oh, yeah. Guys, the servers are they're making a mess. You need to fix your teams, guys. There's not much time left anyways. Trumpet says yeah, man. Sometimes I feel I just love jazz, you know. Trumpets. Are you bench? Oh, yeah. Where's the bench boost? Bench boost. Yay! Bench boost is active. I've made my transfers. Bench boost is active. Everything is fine. Nothing to worry about, guys. I told you it's gonna be a breeze, right? Breeze. Bench boost is active. Team is saved. All now I can do is I can put Isak on my bench and put double game week Kiwior in my team. And then I can put Konza, who's a single game week player here, out of my team, my friend. No single game week players will be found in my team. That is not going to happen in these. Guys, the servers are working. The hamsters are... praise the hamsters, guys. Praise the hamsters. Praise the hamsters. I did bench boost, right? Yes, sir. Who's my captain? Marmouche. Where's my vice captain? Saka's my vice captain. What? What? I don't even know who my vice captain is. I don't think it matters though. Oh man. Oh man. It's time. Of course it's time, man. I don't know why I left it so late. Switched back to Saka captain last minute, says George. I don't even know who's my vice captain right now, mate. It was insane, isn't it? Hang on. Now there's gonna be news all over Twitter. Look, he's starting, Savinho is starting, this is starting, that is starting. Marmouche. My captain is Marmouche, I know this. This guy's playing triple captain on Saka. KDB and Savinho start! Damn it! Last minute FPL main road is posted. What is the point of posting it now, man? What is the point of posting it now? Damn it! I'm so angry, man. I've been waiting. I was hoping, guys. I was hoping. It just did not work out, guys. I'm so sad. I'm so sad. Gonna cry. Samaria says, great stream with brilliant dose of drama to witness. Thank you so much, mate. I just hope Savinio doesn't come back to hurt me too much. So, guys, with that daily dose of drama, we come to an end of another edition of the Deadline stream. It was a bit of a drag. It was nice. It was fun, and it was a lot of questions. I had lots of fun, guys. I hope I was able to answer your questions. I hope you enjoyed the Deadline stream, and I hope I see you for next week's Deadline stream as well. That'll be a free hit as well, guys. So activate your free hit so that you can. I don't think it makes a huge lot of difference, but since a lot of free hits will be activated, then you must activate your free hit as soon as the deadline is over, so that you can catch some of the. Price rises, and they can benefit your team only for that game week, because obviously your team is going to revert back to the same in game week 35. If you're going to free hit, activate it now, guys. As soon as the team comes back, you activate your free hit so that you can catch some of the price rises. Well, and if Savinio scores too many goals, guys, you pray for my mental peace, won't you? I'll see you next week, guys. Till then, take care. Have a great game week. May the hours be green. FPL Wiz is signing out. Cheers, everyone. Bye.